This week, we're looking at praying for boldness and stepping out for God. And I want to get really practical and share 7 top tips on how we might grow in this. So, step number 1, be available. We need to put ourselves in situations where God can answer our prayer for boldness. Give God something to work with and try not to be in a rush when you're out and about. I know this is really hard, but if we're with our colleagues or just out and about, if we're not in a rush, that gives a chance for God to answer our prayer. Step number 2, step out soon. My experience has been that if I pray for boldness, I really need to step out that day. Otherwise, I'm going to chicken out and overthink it, which is an absolute barrier to stepping out in boldness. Number 3, knowing God's will. While I believe we should be listening to and following God's lead all the time, I believe we can also trust his revealed will in Scripture, that he wants us to share God's love, pray for healing, and tell people about Jesus. We don't need a personal, explicit, direct, angelic invitation, revelation from God to do this. We can all do it. And so let's not use needing that explicit sign as an excuse. Number 4, feeling scared doesn't mean you're not bold. In fact, if you don't feel scared, you don't need to pray for boldness. You don't need boldness. So feeling scared or silly doesn't mean you're not bold. It just means you're in a situation where you can experience the Spirit's boldness in you. Number 5, connect quickly. Especially if you're out and about, try and start talking casually with someone when you first go out in public. Even if you just offer a smile, you are sharing something of the kingdom. Number 6, don't be weird. You don't have to make everything super weird. And maybe having a phrase that you can use that tries to kind of normalize the situation. You can say, I'm a Christian, and in our church we love to pray for healing for people. Could I pray for you now? And they may say no, but just trying to sow seeds rather than kind of shove a whole packet of biscuits down someone's mouth. Step number 7, leave the outcome to God. If you're praying for someone, maybe for healing or something, and nothing happens, then don't be worried. Don't let it put you off your stride to say, oh, well, maybe something will happen soon. Or even don't be afraid to pray a second time. Jesus needed to pray a second time for the blind man. So we can certainly do 2 or many more times. So that's my 7 top tips. Let's try and build some momentum so that today's breakthrough can be the baseline of boldness for tomorrow.